That's a great question and a great follow-up to that last video, where in that one we were talking about how to do a tricep extension in order to bias the long head. Now, if you are doing one of those extensions to try to bias the long head, then if we wanted to bias the medial and lateral head of the triceps, we would want to do something like an overhead extension. Because since the long head crosses the shoulder joint as well, it's going to suffer from active insufficiency whenever we have our shoulder flex. Now, what's also different is that the medial and lateral head of the triceps have their best leverage in the more contracted position of elbow extension, unlike the long head, which has more leverage in the more lengthened position of elbow extension. So what this means is completely opposite to what I was talking about in the last video. You don't necessarily need to go lower than 90 degrees in an overhead extension. Rather, I would recommend focusing on making sure that you are contracting fully at the top. Of course, make sure to standardize your ROM and etc. But yeah, I mean, simply put, to do any medial or lateral head bias tricep extension, you want to either have your shoulder flexed the whole time, or you want to be actively flexing your shoulder as you're doing elbow extension. And then you're making sure to contract, because that's where the medial and lateral heads are going to have the best leverage. So this can look like a lot of things. I like doing an overhead extension. I think SwellPit has shown a way to do just a normal extension, but where it's hardest at the contracted position. But you could also do any kind of tricep bias press. This could look like a JM press. This could look like a dip. And again, because your medial and lateral heads are going to be the part of your arm that are going to perform that elbow extension in any press, they will be worked to some degree in any press. As long as you are fully or getting close to fully contracting your triceps, which means locking out. So yeah, I hope this helped, and follow for more.